by any means necessary. To our last breath, to the last play, we hunt. When we bleed, it's orange and green. War ready is the phrase often used. Around these parks, it's game time. No need to turn back the hands of time. We back like we never left. One thing that'll never change is the brand, the you.
Welcome back to the Games Get Played Network. I'm your host, Wise, and we back. We are here, man. We here to discuss the Miami versus Ole Miss recap. Been waiting a long time for this, man. Been waiting a long time for this moment, this situation, and we in year 4, and the opportunity is here, and that's all you can ask for. You put in the work, and you want to get the outcomes that you're striving for, and that's the opportunity to play for a natty. First off, I would like to say that the game didn't go how I expected. That's why the games have to be played. Obviously, I had Miami winning. We'll get into, what kind of transpired and why the game was much closer than I thought it should have been. I want to say respect to Ole Miss. I like Pete Golden. I really do. I like Pete. I like the mentality that he has, tried to instill in that team, and just how the whole thing happened with Lane or whatever. I think they handled it very well. But I like Pete, and I like what he's doing. I'm just being real. Ole Miss, they played their heart out, man. They played their heart out. They came up short. I don't want to hear anybody talking about what you felt like was pass interference on the last play. That last play isn't the reason that they lost that game. But not only even that, though, like, just get off that. The officiating in this game overall was horrible. And in particular against Miami. I get, the pre-snap stuff and the couple of late hits or whatever, but the no targeting call, them not calling PI on them when all they was doing was just ripping and tugging away at receivers' jerseys downfield. It was a lot of that. And probably the most egregious thing of all is they would not call holding. They would not call holding on them, but they called it on us. And I will agree, the one that they called on us was absolutely holding on Bowman. But they would not call holding. Like, I witnessed Ruben Bain get tackled 3 times right in front of the ref. They didn't do anything. Like, he whoop his man, bro, grab him up, cross the neck, take him to the ground, no flag. And I'm like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. But whatever. That's neither here nor there, because, overall, if you play clean football, bro, you don't even have to worry about stuff like that. And Miami wasn't playing clean football at the end of the day. So, like I said, shout out to Ole Miss. Y'all did y'all thing. I think the Fiesta Bowl ended up being an absolute classic. That fourth quarter was fireworks. And, it is what it is. As far as Miami, because that's what we're here for. Everything is about us, right? We on a war path right now. Everything is about us. And, in my opinion, man, I think that we could have and should have won the game by more points. This is not me, quote unquote, being a fan or whatever. This is just me assessing the game just straight up. There was a lot of things that we didn't do right. But, when I watched the College Game Day, Nick Saban told Mario the stuff I wanted to say, honestly. We responded to every piece of adversity that was put in front of us. We responded to everything. And I think that's more so a testament of this team. And, I just want y'all to understand something, man. Just because you put in the work and you don't quit, that does not mean you get the outcomes you want, right? There was never a guarantee that Miami was going to get the outcome that they got, but them guys had to keep their head down and stay focused and keep chipping away at it. And Ole Miss is, I guess, a perfect example of, even if you try your hardest, you do this, you do that, or whatever. They prepared, they did that, and they literally they came up short. There's plenty of other things they could have done. So, I, from a fan perspective, I know we see it a certain way and stuff like that, but these coaches and these kids do put an immense amount of work and preparation that goes into it. And when you put that much work into something, even if it's just week to week during a game, you done did everything you thought you were supposed to do, and you get there and it's not going your way. It's not easy to be like, hey man, let me refocus. So that's not an easy thing to do, especially when the stakes are higher and the pressure's higher. So, kudos to them, to Miami, for executing and figuring out a way to get it done. But just overall, we'll just get into it, man. So Miami won 31-27. And the game starts out, Miami really, the defense was cooking. The defense was absolutely cooking. They forced 2 3 and outs. I talked about in pockets of the game. That's when that going fast gets you in trouble. It's the same thing that it does with SMU or anybody that does it. South Florida, it did it with Ole Miss. When you go fast and you don't convert, you're literally going to be off the field in a minute or less. So when you do that, you throwing the ball around and different stuff like that, and you're not converting. I mean, if the other team is a possession type of team, if they run off 1 or 2 drives after you do that, you kind of put yourself in a hole. But, the defense started out hot, man. Defense started out hot early in the game. Beck missed Malachi for a wide open touchdown. To me, it looked like Beck was trying to anticipate where Malley was going to be. But instead of him anticipating it, he should have just kind of let it happen, because the corner had thirds out here and the safety was out of the picture. I believe he came up or something. So all Beck had to do was just briefly let it get there. He tried to just throw it there, but he threw it more towards where the corner could have gotten to Malley, versus Malley was kind of going up the seam. It was wide open. We missed points there. My thing about, all of it is, it's just kind of like, man, there was so much more to be had, but we still ended up where we needed to end up. They couldn't do anything. So I will say that, Miami gets the field goal when we should have got a touchdown, and you felt it then. You felt it then when it happened. It was like, okay, you shouldn't really be kicking field goals against a team like this, right? You shouldn't. But it is what it is, man. You get into the Florida game, the third time they get it back, literally Blay. So we really about to get into this, man. If you like, I just Blay, and I'm saying this in the best way possible. Blay does not need to take another significant snap for Miami. I'm sick of it. The stakes are too high. You are lined up right over the ball. And not only that, bro, you don't even make enough plays. The way you be jumping off sides and having other miscues, you don't. You don't. I pray that Moten is fully healthy or healthy enough to play his snaps. I pray that Justin Scott is good to play his snaps. And then you take Armando Blunt and you use those three guys and mix in whoever you need to. But do not put David Blay on that field when the snaps matter again. And I'm not I'm being serious. This is it. We don't get another chance. And I'll be damned if that's no. Because if you go back and you remember, it was 2nd and 8, technically. I don't know how they got to when they moved them 5 yards up, it moved to 2nd and 2 or whatever. But anyway, it was 2nd and 8, bro. It was 2nd and 8, and we were going to have an opportunity to put them in 3rd and long, and then Blade jumps off sides. You're right over the ball. I don't know how many times they've done it this year. 4 for sure, maybe 5. But not only do you do that, then you later on, you go and do the play where Lacey is clearly on the ground. He's been tackled, and then you run and throw your shoulder into his back and get a 15-yard penalty. That kid don't need to play no more. Like, no, we can't have stuff like that. Because this isn't a touch and go thing. This isn't, oh, they called you for PI, right? Oh, you made a hit and they happened to call it for targeting. This is jumping off sides. He jumped off sides. Next play, 73-yard touchdown run by Lacey. The hit Lacey in the back thing, I'm pretty sure they probably score on that drive too. I think that was a drive. I know they got a field goal, but you assisted them further down the field. That's not in the heat of the moment. I didn't make a good decision. No, like that was not a bang bang football play. Those are two things that directly negatively impact us that you could have controlled. It ain't like you was running in and you saw him hit the ground and then you still hit him. That's crazy. So no, I don't think he need to play no more snaps. And if he has to play any snaps, they cannot be significant snaps. And when I say that, I mean it can't be. It got to be, hey, it's 1st and 25, 1st and 20 if Indiana's behind the sticks on a penalty. Maybe something like that. He can't play any short down and distance snaps. I would just say don't play him at all. I'm sorry. He can practice. He can help give us reps and stuff. I wouldn't play that kid again. Stakes is too high. He keeps showing you who he is over and over again, and it's a lack of discipline on his behalf. It's not even him just playing fast. So that's that on that. But, Lacey, he get the touchdown run, so they up 7-3. And I'm like, damn, defense been playing fire the whole time. The penalty, and y'all know how this been going most of the year, bro. When we've been getting stupid penalties, usually there's a body blow coming next. Like we do something and gift wrap somebody something, and then next that happens. But it's cool. We get it back, and we go 15. We go 15 plays down the field. We take 7.5 minutes off the clock, and Marty Brown scores a touchdown. I want to say that I don't understand Shannon Dawson. I personally hope that Shannon Dawson just stops being in his own head. Like it was clear from the jump that we were going to be able to run the ball. We knew that. And in situations where we should have been running just straight up, we were doing things that didn't make sense. And, we almost squandered another great Mark Fletcher performance when he should have been getting more carries, and Marty as well. It should have been more and more. We were leaning on him They had a couple of tackles where we slipped down. Outside of us slipping down, I think they beat us across the face maybe 3 times in the run game, the whole game, just 3. We fell down twice. I think they beat us across our face where like they kind of blew a play up maybe 3 times. And we ran the ball a lot. But either way, we do what we need to do on that drive. And that is where it's just like, okay, now let's see. And then Ole Miss gets the ball back, and now they're in, I guess, somewhat of a rhythm. We give them, and this is what I mean too by gifting people stuff. So they get a first down on us. And then we get roughing the passer on Justin Scott. There's no reason for him to do what he did. You 6'5". The way he came in and made the hit, I knew they was calling that. So boom. Roughing the passer. Now you give him 15 more downfield. They hit a 20-yard pass on us. 3-yard pass. We stopped the run, but they got a kicker that can hit from 60. He kicks, I believe, is this the 58-yard field goal or something like that? Or no, that was the 42-yard field goal. And then we get it back. We get it back, man. We head down. We get a couple of plays. 1-yard run. We pass. And then we hit a touchdown. Keelan Marion, wide open. So now it's 17-10, and we forced a punt. Right? We forced the 3 and out. And I'm like, all right, we got an opportunity. And then as soon as we got it back, we have a bust up front with the O-line. And because of the bust up front with the O-line, that's what allowed for that to take place. And then, I see fans on Twitter and stuff, and we gonna get into that too. But like, I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't think that I know everything about football. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm like this super X's and O's guru, because I'm not. But I know what I'm looking at. And some of you Miami fans, I just don't understand what y'all be talking about. But then I also realized that there's no parameters or barriers on social media. Like when you think about it, when we were in school, right? If you like, there were levels to the classes that you were in. You had regular classes, you had honors, you had AP, stuff like that. We don't have that like in the real world when it comes to social media. So it don't even have anything to do with football. Sometimes some of y'all, I'm like, oh, you don't know much like about anything. You have, a tough time with understanding and comprehending things, because I'm watching this and folks is like, oh, I see some idiot on Twitter like, oh yeah, and Beck took that sack. He messed up the whole drive for us. And I'm like, bro, we got a bust immediately on a play where we were attempting to hit a ball deep. They sacked us. At the point where they sacked us in that moment with the timeouts they had, that drive is over. We started that drive, I believe, on the 26. They sacked us back to the 18. The drive's over. It's a minute and something left. You're going to run the ball 2 more times, and that's it. If you break something, cool, but you're not trying to do anything else. You're backed up inside your own 20. You don't make that kind of mistake. Oh, he ruined that drive. I'm like, okay, cool. We punted away, and they say kickers can hit from far all the time, but that dude hit that field goal from 58 yards, and I'm not playing when I said it had at least 5 to 7 extra yards on it. Like, he boomed a 58-yarder. Like, even on TV, when like how loud it was when that thing sounded off his foot. Nah, that was crazy. But it is what it is. Miami squandered, some opportunities to get more points. And I think, ultimately it ended up not catching up to them. And that's cool. So, boom. Halftime is halftime. Miami comes out. We drive down the field some, and then we miss a field goal. Another opportunity where we need that. We don't get it. They get it back. They miss a field goal. Right? And then we get it back. We driving. We make it down to the 20-yard line. We on the 20-yard line, or the 19 to be exact. It's third down, and the ball gets batted up, and it's an interception. Now, I want to say this. I wasn't really all over Beck about the pick. It is what it is. They batted the ball. That was a good play by them. What I will say, though, is, and I haven't looked at the all 22 on it, and I might go back and look at it later. And we'll touch on it when we do Indiana preview. But I don't know who he was throwing that ball to. And even if it didn't get batted, and he was fitting into some really tight windows, I will say. But I'm going to go have to look at the all 22 to see who was he trying to throw it to, because from what I saw, it was covered. They did a good job covering that up. And, it is what it is. But batted ball, they get it back. They miss a field goal. No, I'm sorry. After the interception, they go down and they get their field goal. On that drive in particular, they didn't have to do too much. They started out with a 17-yard catch, 13-yard catch. They 30 yards up the field. 7 yards, 12 yards, incomplete, and then run. So, they just needed to get close enough. They got right outside the 35-yard line, and he booms a 54-yard kick that was going to be good for at least 60. So it's like, okay, if they get to the other side of the field around the 40, there's a chance. Right? So, we get it back, and we have the ball for a solid amount of time. And this is kind of where this is truthfully where Dawson almost fucked us. We get it back. First play, 15-yard Fletcher run. Next play, 12-yard Fletcher run. No, actually, I'm sorry. It was the Malachi. It's the Malachi pass, but it's backward, so it counts as a run. The next play, we run Fletcher. So it's 2nd and 7. It's 2nd and 7 on the Ole Miss 45. Why in the fuck are you calling a pass play? We been running it, bruh. Even the drive from before, we was killing them on the run. We were killing them on the run, the drive before. Where the interception happened, we threw the ball. That ball left Beck hands 2 times on passes. The rest of them was run. We all the way down the field. What are you doing? Sack. Now it's 3rd and 16. Sack. Now it's 4th and 20. And I'm like, bro, all right. That could have ended everything. And where it gets saved is the defense. When I tell you that goal line stand that we had was so important, and obviously Scott on 3rd down, but Jabari Antoine on forcing them out on one of them runs, and the way he was playing, down there in the red zone, that is where the game got won, because they got all the way down there and we only gave up a field goal. That goal line stand is where everything flipped, because when you only give up a field goal, now The score is 17-19. We get it back. And, Mally does Mally things. But the one thing I want to say about it when we got it back. So, first play, we go down the field. Would have been a super huge play. Is pass interference on the corner on Keelan Marion. They were doing a lot of holding. They barely gave us any, but that was not to be debated. Then Beck passes to CJ Daniels. Then 17-yard run. Then Fletch falls down. And then that's where we obviously hit Mally. He get up out of there. He slide. So this is where I don't think people realize what happened. Right? We only had the ball for 2 minutes. Ole Miss had just did a 5.5-minute drive, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was probably their longest drive of the game. The very first snap when we got back out there on the field, I could tell Ruben Bain was still tired. He fires off, but you don't see the motor. You don't see the extended motor. He gives the initial effort, and I knew right then. I said, damn, we scored in 2 minutes. Them boys is on the field for 5 minutes of game time, which in all actuality was at least 10 minutes. At least 10. Between the stoppages, because they was throwing it a lot too. So, bro, I'm like, man. And I realized then, I was like, damn, we tired. And sure enough, we tried to do what we could. But if you pay attention to how fast they scored, they went 6 plays in 1 minute and 51 seconds. So they started out with a 21-yard pass, a run, an incompletion. They get the pass interference on 3rd down on Antoine. And now you like, hold on, bruh. Chambliss, great scramble for 19 yards. And then we call a blitz. And I'm not going to lie, this was tough. We called a blitz. He calls it out. Tells Keontae to come on because he know he's the one that's coming, and threw a dot for a touchdown. He knew where the blitz was coming from. He pretty much knew the angle he was going to take. Chambliss told him, come on. Pointed at him and told him, come on. And he came and he got the ball out, dot, and it looked like they took advantage of, us having a young guy out there. It looked to be some confusion because the way, like, there was something else that would have turned open. I think Jabari went with the wrong guy, but even if he didn't go with the guy, the safety didn't get enough depth. So he was going to have 2 options based upon how it was panning out. They just had a good scheme. They had a good play call for what we were running at the time. And when that happens, I'm just like, okay, it's time. Literally what I said in that moment is, it's time, bro. They score. It's basically like 3 minutes left in the game. And I'm like, this is what they paid. This is what I paid you $4 million for, Beck. And I told y'all Beck owed us one. And we still got work to do. But this is what I was talking about. I say you owe me one. You owe me one. If you don't do nothing else, if we don't win it, whatever, you owe me one, sir. And this was the one he owed. I've been telling y'all that. Beck owe me one. He owe us one. And this is where you get it. No flinch, no nothing. So y'all can say whatever y'all want about Carson Beck. Throughout the playoffs, Beck has played phenomenal. A&M, phenomenal. I don't care if it was 100 yards. Doing what needs to be done in those moments is what matters most. You'd rather do that and win a game than go against it and lose your team the game. But when the chips was down, they knew that we were going to have to put the ball in Carson Beck hands and tell him to go get it. Straight up. Straight up. So out the gate, deep ball to Marion. But you know, the one thing that I'll say is on this drive, one, we went to Marion a lot. I want to say this, you know, I know earlier in the season, different people had opinions about, you know, why Marion was playing over JoJo. And there was some questions and stuff. I will say the production necessarily wasn't there in my eyes, but I had been saying from the jump, bro, last year was a little wonky, in my opinion, with the whole receiver thing. They didn't want to play some of the young guys. In my opinion, this year, I'm like, bro, whoever they playing should be playing. And JoJo was extremely engaged in the run game and blocking for his guys, which is super important. He needs to calm down, relax, focus. He obviously had a critical drop that, you know, could have changed some stuff. But I said all of that to say he's playing hard. He's playing hard, and that's what we need. Keelan Marion has been on an absolute tear. And I believe he ended the game with 114 yards. There was so much grabbing and PIing on him that they didn't call. He easily could have had 200. And I'm not saying that, just throw a number out. The other PI that they called, that was 40 yards downfield. The one that they called face mask instead of PI, that was 40 yards downfield. Like, and he almost caught both of those balls. But shout out to Keelan Marion, man. He played the game of his life. The opportunities was there, and I'm bringing this back for right here because he said he told Beck when they went out there, he was like, that motherfucker cannot guard me. He was like, they had been talking the whole game, and he was letting them know, feed me. But he said the last drive, he told Beck, feed me. I'm hot, and he can't fucking guard me. He was like, I'm telling you, bro, I'm cooking him every time. And he was not lying. Every time. Chris Graves, you was out there competing. But when I tell you, you was holding more than number one from Ohio State, oh my God. But you out there, you getting cooked. Like, he wanted to beat Miami so bad. But it is what it is, man. So the penalty, right? The penalty, which would have been, you know, whatever, PI and all of that. So that was the first third down that was faced. And that was the second third down. On the first third down, Fletcher ran for it. So we get the third down again. Penalty, right? We get the Malley catch on the sideline that they called back because it wasn't a definitive toe tap. A crazy play for him to even be able to grab that. There was no bobble. Secure it completely. The ball didn't move. And then still get a foot down. That was amazing, man. That was amazing. And I don't agree with the rule. If your whole foot comes down, I get why you would say he's out, but clearly his toe hit first and then the rest of his foot. But whatever. You can't dwell on it. You got to move on. This next play, you got to have it. You got to have it. And Beck gets it. On Graves again. CJ Daniels. Man, 7-yard catch. Money. Runs the route perfectly. Get it. First down. And just in case they might even try to play us, he then fights to get back over it because he got pulled back some. He fights to get back over and stretch that ball out. Like, I know people may think that was insignificant, but I seen that and I was like, bro, we locked in. Next play, incomplete to CJ. Next play, incomplete. And actually, that was the one where I think Beck was throwing it away, but he didn't throw it away like throw it away. And he almost threw an interception. If that had been an athletic DB on the sideline, that could have potentially been a pick and everything would have imploded. So the one thing I'll say for him, if you're going to throw the ball away, bro, throw the shit away in the stands. That was an extremely dangerous play. You were throwing it away, but you didn't do it good enough. Throw that shit to the bleachers. And then we got to have it. 3rd and 10, 17-yard pass to Keelan Marion. I mean, I'm talking, he ripped it to him. We try. So I will say this too. At first, I was killing Dawson for the play that was called right here. But then I went back and I was watching some film, and this play actually was a phenomenal play call. It was where it was the Beck run. But what happened is Markel Bell basically blew his assignment. So I believe Pancake was supposed to get his guy. Markel Bell was supposed to fill up, get the next guy, because the whole idea is if the edge guy came off, Beck was to pull it, which is what he did. The edge comes off clean, Beck pulls it, but because Markel doesn't flow up, he tries to come back and catch the edge, which blows the whole play up. But if you go back and look at that play, if Markel does what he's supposed to do, the way the edge crashes down on the back, Beck has a free lane to run. I don't know if he scores because there is somebody out there, but at the very least, he's picking up probably a first down or a 7 or 8. Like it was a great play call, I will say. And I don't think I have never seen that play. But it was a great play call, and it just didn't work. 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss, and Beck rips one to Keelan Marion. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, we good. We good. I'm not looking for no field goal. We on the 8. We hand it off to Marty. I thought that if he had just, punched it, he probably could have got in there because the hole was there. But he protected that football, which mattered more. And, man, the play. Dawson made a great play call on this one as well. The ball was supposed to go to Malachi. I saw it live. And shout out to my boy KJ. He came over here. He watched the game with me and Cam. And I was like, when I saw this live, I was like, I'm so happy that he did not throw it to Mally. I saw it live where it was supposed to go. It was there, but it wasn't there. Like, you could have made that throw, but you would have potentially gotten him lit up. And it just would have been dangerous throwing that across the middle like that. And I'm so happy he decided not to do it. And you see Pancake pushing 52 back that way, and the C's part, and Beck runs in. Now, I will say, Mario shoved KB off of him, and rightfully so. It was 18 seconds left. And honestly, I did not expect to see Ole Miss get an opportunity to even throw that in the end zone. Apparently, on the last play anyway, the guy that was supposed to have the contain over there to provide the pressure, he didn't execute it right. He went the wrong way, so Trinidad rolled out and had a free pass. And I'm going to be honest, there is not a better place he could have put that ball. He put that ball at the very back of the end zone. Not right here where it would go out, but like it was perfectly placed right there. Like in the spot for somebody to catch it, get in, and call game. That throw was phenomenal. I know everybody was complaining about it because O'Connor had bruh like this. He had bruh face mask. You're not getting that call. On a Hail Mary, you are not getting that call. You just not. It have to be egregious. You can't have two people engaged and get that. Somebody got to get pulled down for real. Like during the play, you're not getting that call. So all y'all complaining, it is what it is. At the end of the day, now we finna get to the real. Bro, the game should have never been that close in the first place. Okay. The flea flicker call was a fucking dumbass call. We running the ball. Why are you getting cute trying to do flea flickers? That shit is a sorry play anyway. You do that on teams that aren't good overall. Why are you calling that play and we getting 5 yards a pop running, Dawson? The Mally Cat play was stupid. And I'm going to tell you why. There's no reason to call that and do it like that. If anything, we should have threw it. If you gonna put us in the Mally Cat, throw it. And I know Dawson loves trying to set stuff up. This is the last game of the season, bro. It ain't no more setting up to be done coming up in this game. So whatever you want to call it and stop trying to wait to set it up. There are certain things where you're supposed to get to it later. But please, bro, stop doing stupid stuff. Fletcher was running the ball perfectly fine, and then you run Mally Cat. Cut it the fuck out. Please. And for the love of God, we did not have to throw the ball 37 times. We did it. We just didn't. You kept calling pass plays and you get in this pass happy mode, and I don't know why. You're getting 5 yards per carry, my boy. And this is what I be saying. These people so smart, but it's like, bro, do you know football? You're getting 5 yards a carry. What are we doing? Fletcher has 22 carries for 133 yards. 6 a pop. Marty Brown, 14 for 54. 4 a pop. What are we doing? We were supposed to run for at least 200 yards. The only reason why we don't have it is because of the sack yardage that Beck took from getting sacked. What are we doing? Come on, Dawson. Stop outsmarting yourself. Run the football. I know we was on you because you was calling the same predictable play every time in the run game. For the love of God, I don't know how it's going to look against Indiana. But if we are effective running that ball, you need to continue to run that ball. That is how the deep shots will open up. You know this. And we had our share of opportunities for the deep shots last game, but if we running it and it's effective, run the ball. I see if they stopping it, bro. If they stopping it, cool. You still got to put it in there, but don't overdo it. But when they not stopping it, you got to. Fletcher is on the greatest 3-game stretch in Hurricanes history, rushing the ball. And I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh man, what the fuck you talking? Bro, I didn't say it's the greatest totals. Because he is not. But when you look at what's being done, he's coming off an injury into the playoffs. 170, 115, 130. All averaging. Oh man, come on, man. The yards per carry is what's getting me. The yards per carry is what's getting me. And I'm like, bro, how can you not give him the ball more? How? It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Like, here we go. We're going to do the math. 172. He had 90 the other game. I think he had a total of 100 and something yards, but 90. and 133. So he's averaging 132 yards per game, right? 132 in the playoff. Like all of this shit matters. Like this is when everything is on the line, right? He averages basically 7 yards a carry. He averaging 7 yards a carry in the playoffs, 131 yards a game. If you count, the catches and stuff too, 150 a game. Bro, give him the fucking ball. Please. He is eating right now. He is playing the best he has ever played in his life. He is focused. He is motivated. He did 133 or whatever, and he had the flu. Get that man the football, bro. Marty Brown hadn't played. Toting the rock. Give him the football, fam. You don't have to get cute to run it with Malachi. You don't. If I never see another Malachi run for the rest of the season, I'm cool with that. You don't have to do that, bruh. And then, if you're going to do it, don't call a straight up run play. Give him the option to throw it, not on a you handed it off, because then he can't throw it away if need be. Put him at quarterback in the shotgun, in Malachi, snap it to him, call the pass play, and if it's not there, give him the opportunity to scramble from back there. If you let him scramble from back there, bruh, it's different when you scrambling, because when you start off knowing that you gonna throw it and it's not there, oh my God, that's how you really put him in space. Not with the direct, he may run. No, let him get back there, snap it. We're gonna throw it. And if it's not there, the way, bruh, that's how you put him in space. You putting people over there. Like, come on, man. That's gonna be some, bruh. That's how you put him in space truthfully. And you can tell, bro, if it's not there, chop it up. Because you got people guarding them, and then you got the D line. So at that point, that means you're putting Mally in space one-on-one with a linebacker or a safety. I'm taking that 10 out of 10. On Indiana, I'm taking that 10 out of 10. Put them in space like that. It makes the defense have to honor it more. I shouldn't be needing to say stuff like this, but we need to do that. That is way more dangerous than calling a straight up run play for Mally. That boy get it, and you telling him, hey, if it's not there, don't even throw it away. Like, see, when you do the pitch back, he can't throw it away. If you just give it straight to him, he has the opportunity to throw it away. But you tell him, hey, bro, if it ain't there, chop that shit up on their ass. Go ahead, take it. Get up out of there. Like, for real. That's what you tell him, bro. You tell him, get up, get busy. Get busy on them boys, man. Like, for real. Man, don't fuck this up, Dawson. And we gonna do the Indiana preview and all of that. But Dawson, don't mess this up, bro. Don't mess this up. You get one shot. You do not have to come out here with 17 trick plays. Okay? Come out here, run your offense. You can put in a couple of new wrinkles. And if you're going to do a trick play or two, let it be a good one. For the love of God, don't call a fucking flea flicker again. That shit is so 1980s. Please stop doing that. Please. Keep doing the pistol, bro. The pistol is effective. Even the way you throw in Malachi some of these dumps, you can keep doing that. That false pull tunnel, oh man, it's a potential for a big play no matter who's getting it. When we block it right, no matter who's getting it, it's potential for a big play. I love that call. What I would like to see maybe this game, Dawson, because I know it got to be in your playbook, call a fucking running back screen. I don't know if we've called a screen for the running back the whole year. Call a screen. Call a screen, please. Please call a screen for the running backs. Please, I'm begging you. Please. Especially if they want to start to get aggressive. Please do it. I ain't got nothing else, man. Outside of a couple of those calls and the fact that he didn't want to really key in on running how he should. This is the last one, and just don't fuck it up. I'm not going to sit up here and be super negative. Bro, you know what you need to do. Go out there and get it done. The natty is on the line. It's that plain and simple. As far as defense, it's crazy that we're not going to have Xavier Lucas. But I told KJ before the targeting even happened. So we're going to get on defense because we got to talk about this. I thought the defense overall played phenomenal. When you look at the fact that Ole Miss scored 2 touchdowns the entire game. I want to say that might have been the lowest touchdown total they had all year. Yeah, they got 4 out of 5 field goals. I ain't even mad at it. The only thing I'm mad at with the defense is 2 things. That is the worst tackling that I have seen from Miami in I don't know how long. In the first half alone, we missed 8 to 10 tackles. Everything that Ole Miss was doing, Heatherman had us in position for, and multiple guys were missing tackles on the sidelines. They throwing these little 2-3 yard passes. We're right there. We got an opportunity to bring them down in space. We don't do it. We have to emphasize tackling to the max without getting guys hurt. The tackling was god awful. Awful. That's 1. 2, you can't drop 4 interceptions again. Dog, Dylan Day, you had a chance for a pick six. A pick 6 before the half would have been a back-breaking play for them. Back-breaking. Absolutely broke their back if you had caught the pick and cribbed it. Drop the pick, they get the field goal. O'Connor breaks on the ball. Wesley dropped the interception 3 times in one play. Jacoby Thomas jumps the route, drops the interception. Twan said we was going to pick Trinidad off 3 times, and we had the opportunity to do it 4 times, and we caught 0. You cannot do that against Mendoza. You cannot. Any opportunity he give you to pick that ball off, you have to take it. You have to. So get your all fuck ass on the jugs machine after practice. My next thing is that last one where Lucas came across and hit it up in the air and O'Connor dropped that interception. Right after that play, I told KJ, I said, bro, Lucas is hurt. He didn't want to come out, and I respect him for it, but he started hurting the team. They throw it on his side on the next one, and he's so hurt. He's watching, I believe that was Stribling. He watched Stribling catch it, and he did not react. He just sat there. And then when Stribling started trying to move upfield, he then went to try to tackle him. I told KJ, I said he hurt. Then they went at him again, and you could see he's physically hobbling. And I'm like, I don't even think he can hit, even if he wants to. He was out there and he was hurting us, bro. Like, he was hurting us. And I told him, I was like, bro, he needs to come out of the game. So I said all of that to say, when he got the targeting, you don't want to see somebody go out. 1, he got banged up. But 2, you don't want to see our players ejected for targeting. But honestly, that might have won us the game, because Jabari Antoine was forced to play, and we had somebody out there that was competing to the max that had most of their ability, even though he got the PI and all of that. Lucas was hurt bad. And I don't know. It looked like it was his leg because he was limping, but he needed to come off that field. And if he didn't come off that field, we probably are in a worse situation defensively because we was compromised. So I want to say that. My last thing to Corey Heatherman. I love you. I love the way you got us playing. Please stop putting Mesidor in coverage. That shit does not work, fam. Stop dropping him into the flats, asking him to cover. That is not what he does best. You are putting one of your best defensive players who probably might not play. We got super banged up. I thought Mesidor broke his arm on that play at the very least, where the lineman landed and that looked ugly, but he finished the game. Stop putting guys in those positions. Mesidor is not a person that you want to drop back into the flat. I don't care what he's showing you in practice. In the game, it has not worked one time. And then on top of that, when you put him in the flats and somebody catches it, now you're putting him at a disadvantage because he missed 3 tackles. 2 for sure, maybe 3, where he had a guy dead to rights, but you're asking him to tackle a running back or a wide receiver in space and him not properly leveraging the sideline. That's not what he does. If he's going to play, let that man rush the passer and play the run game. Stop dropping him back. If you want to drop somebody back, Lightfoot is the guy. Lightfoot is the dude that was jamming JJ and Tate them and still getting out on the flats. That's who you put there. Do not put Mesidor in another. Don't play him again and drop him back in coverage. Please. You're taking a player out of the play and letting us play 10 on 11. You smarter than that, fam. You're smarter than that. I don't see Bain dropping back in coverage. Stop doing that, please. Other than that, defense, you need to tackle better and take advantage of your opportunities. I don't care how the game plays, how it unfolds. Everything is on the line. This is it. It don't get no bigger than this. You playing for everything. You playing for it at home in front of Miami. Everybody's going to be there. They already talking crazy. Indiana is one of the greatest teams of all time. They better than 2019 LSU. I just sent Twan something where they talking crazy. Miami getting blown out. It won't be close. Pure domination. They already talking super crazy. Miami shouldn't even show up and play. Let's get it, man. It's time. We've been waiting on this for 23 years. The opportunity is here, man. Take advantage of it because you never know when you're going to get the opportunity again. Canes fans, we here. They said we couldn't do it. And I know my dog is going to have that comment. They said we couldn't beat. Well, it starts off. They said we couldn't win the rest of our games. They said we couldn't dominate the rest of our games. They said we couldn't beat A&M. They said we couldn't beat Ohio State. They said we wasn't going to beat the SEC again. And now they saying Indiana, boat racing Miami. Sound good. Sound real good. The games have to be played. You have to line it up and see how you come out on the other side of it. With that being said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And guess what, y'all? We here. Everything we done been through. We here. Year 4. Looked grim. Looked real grim back on November 1st. Year 4. Everything we wanted is in front of us. Did we win the ACC? Nope. Don't matter. It's right here. The ultimate goal is in front of you. And I need Mario. I see the passion. I see it. I need the most focus we've ever had. The players get healthy, lock in. That Indiana versus Miami preview coming, man.